Well, that was a good way to start a live, wasn't it?
The sneeze, bless you. I should have said bless you.
Well, I tried to hold it back, and it just was not holding back.
So as y'all come in, say hello.
Yes.
I mean, it's a lovely, hot Wednesday in Georgia, isn't
It is. You can tell we've been working, we've been recording, we've done a little bit of stuff outside. We can't wait for y'all to see that.
Yeah.
But today is Book Club Day.
It is
I
Book
love
Club
Book
Day.
Club Day. And last week, Kay and I were at the beach. So we didn't tell y'all where we were going. We just told y'all that we were going out of town.
We did.
And you probably know by now we did go live, but I don't think it saved it, which was the weirdest thing.
So strange.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to YouTube that day.
But we had a lot of fun. We only got a few hours there. But we did get to sit on the beach for about 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, we were there less than 24 hours, I think. We had to turn around.
But you know what? That 3 or 4 hours just helped my soul.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It really did.
It was beautiful down in Panama City.
Pretty. Well, except that night it stormed on us.
Well, that's true. It was beautiful until it wasn't.
But now I do have a question for you guys if you're watching later. I see that one person has come in. They haven't said hi. If you'll say hi, let us know that you're here. But I have a question for you guys if you're here now or if you're watching later. We told y'all that we were going to go and look at a place that we had been considering for a retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an interesting place. It's called the Radisson. If you want to look it up, it's on Panama City Beach. Mm-hmm. And when I looked at the pictures, I thought it was a lot more high end than it actually is.
Most Radissons are.
But
that's just such a high rent district that when they acquire those hotels in Panama City, for a long time, Panama City was getting rid of their hotels.
Yeah.
And so there was only so many they left. So the ones that are left are being bought up by the bigger companies, but they're not really investing a lot of money in them right now to fix them up. It doesn't seem to me. So what you get, you get.
Well, it was clean. I will say that. It was very clean.
There was a lot of room in our room.
There was a lot. We had, I guess, we're calling it a suite. That's not what I booked, but that's what we got.
Somehow we ended up with it.
2 queen beds. You went, and then the bathroom, and then you went down this little hallway, and there was a big closet there, and then a kitchenette, and then even a little living room.
Yeah.
A tiny little living room, and it had a pull-out bed in it, too. And then you went out, and it had a balcony, and we were directly on the beach.
So you could easily sleep 6.
You could easily sleep 6 in a room.
Honestly, if you had somebody young, you could put an air mattress on the floor too.
So
there was room.
We kind of had mixed feelings about it. We wanted to ask you guys, if it wasn't an upscale hotel, would y'all still be interested in doing a retreat there? Should we retreat and look maybe at the mountains instead of looking there? It was fine. It was clean. It was a nice hotel.
It had a balcony.
It was just older.
Yeah.
I think that was the thing. It was older, and they had updated it, but the shower and bathroom was really nice.
Yeah, the shower was very nice.
Updated that. It was very nice. But around the cabinets down at the bottom was where you could tell that it was an older place.
Yeah, that it was aged a little bit. Yeah, and most all of the rooms, like in Panama City, unless it is so upscale that it costs $500 a night, have outdoor room doors. Is what I was going to say. It's you walk upstairs, it's all outside, and then you walk into your room. Yeah. Kind of. But they had an elevator, so that was good because we were on the 11th floor. They did have an elevator because we were on the 11th floor. And it was about $200 a night. Hey, Patricia. Yeah. Welcome in. Hey, Patricia.
It was about $200 a night, which, is in June on the beach.
Hi, Linda.
Hey. It did barely. I will tell you, the reason the beach survived us is because we almost didn't survive the beach.
That's so true.
When we first got there, we went to our favorite place for lunch, which is the back porch. And we had what we thought was going to be the best lunch because we love them. We had shrimp tacos, but they were bang shrimp tacos. Yeah. And I don't know if it was the sauce because there was a lot of sauce on it or what it was, but it about killed both of us. Yeah, it just did not hurt so bad. It made me so sick, and I was sick even until the next day. Yeah. And Kay was sick that whole afternoon, which almost messed us up being able to sit on the beach because we were both sick. So we almost didn't survive that.
We didn't even get our favorite dessert.
We did not. Exactly.
Yeah, the reason I like to go to that place so much actually is the dessert I usually get there.
Yes.
And they used to call it Hello Sunshine Cake. Now they call it Florida Sunshine Cake or something like that.
Yeah.
But I remember when it was Hello Sunshine Cake.
But we were too sick for it.
So
and
good.
that tells you a lot. If we were too sick, because normally, we've been known just to go there just to get that.
And we were drinking water too.
Yes,
I mean, we didn't have
no alcohol,
no sodas, nothing. We were just drinking water, but
pure
it was
water.
Just one of those days.
And those shrimp tip tacos did not set. I don't know if the shrimp was bad, if it was the sauce or what it was. So yes, and then it stormed that night, so we stayed in. But hey, Michelle, I'm watching on my TV. And can't chat. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We're about to start talking about the book, but we did want to kind of bring that up to you guys, get your feelings on how you would feel if we did a retreat at the Radisson in Panama City on the beach. It would be on the beach. And we had actually talked about that. I don't know if you've ever been to Panama City. It's in Florida. It gets really hot during the day.
Yeah.
So we thought we could do it the same way we did on the cruise. Right. We would do like a 2-hour class in the morning, break for lunch, and then do a 2-hour class in the afternoon. Do it from like 10 to 12 and 1 to 3. That's the hottest part of the day. And then that morning, that afternoon, we could go out to the beach. We could enjoy the time.
And you're shopping right close by.
Pier Park is almost across the street from it. I mean, it's a little up, but it's very close.
Which is one of my favorite places to go.
Yeah. So you guys let us know what y'all think. If you think, well, it's an older hotel, I really wouldn't want to stay there, then we can look in the mountains.
Hey, it's really not as old as some of the ones that I've seen in Panama City. I'm going to be honest. Go and look online. The pictures are a little misleading.
The Flamingo.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch
I didn't even know
when we were kids.
Yeah. I was like, it's still here. It's
Fountain
still here.
Blue, those kind of places. When we grew up, they were down there. And there's some of those that are still there. So I think it was something else at one point. I don't think it was originally a Radisson. I think they bought it.
That's what I said. I think some of the bigger companies are buying up those hotels. They also own the one next door, which was the Ramada, I think, right?
Yeah, but they're remodeling it.
They're remodeling it.
So that may be an option in the future.
Well, and it may be when they finish that one, they're going to remodel the other one too. Because it seemed like it was under new
ownership. Now, there was it Comfort Inn and Suites or Hampton Inn? One of them was down the road.
Hampton.
But now I will say it's a newer hotel, so it's probably nicer, but it is over $300 a night. So that's something else to weigh out. So you guys let us know. We're open.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't got anything nailed down yet.
And we haven't looked at the fall prices to see if it's cheaper in the fall or not, like winter or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I even love winter in Panama City, y'all. It's not bad at all. It's a great little getaway in the winter.
Okay, so let's hop into our book. What's the name again? It is The Radisson. Radisson, I think is how it's spelled.
The Radisson.
The Radisson on Panama City Beach.
Yeah, on the beach. It is beachfront. I mean, if you go out on your balcony or if you're on the bottom floor, you can walk right out on the beach.
And we did. I mean, and there's a little restaurant next door and in between it and the Ramada.
Yep.
So it was, I mean, we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But now I am not picky. If it's clean, that's what matters to me. I'm not going to go somewhere that's not clean or makes me even feel like
I said, from what I can tell, they're probably going to start with the Ramada because it's older than the Radisson and then go back to the Radisson and maybe do some updating there too. So who knows what the prices will do when they start doing that. But it looked like that's kind of their thought process.
Yeah. But right now, for Panama City Beach in the summer, in June, it was reasonable. Mm-hmm. So, all right, so let's hop back into our book. We did skip last week, so we told you guys to finish the whole book. It only had 21 chapters. It was not that long. I read this book years ago. And when I say years ago, I'm talking 15 to 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I loved it. At the time, I was going through something very similar to what she was going through. I'd been going through a divorce. I was overweight. I was not happy with myself. And I could totally relate with her. Now, I will say, because it had been that long, I had forgotten some of the parts in the book that I wasn't really crazy about. Some of the things they said, some of the things they did, I wasn't really crazy about. And it's like, I kind of forgot about that. because I just related with her so much. That was why I loved the book. I still love the book. I love the story.
The ending made me mad.
I know it did, and I'll let you talk about that.
I guess I should talk about some stuff that happened before the ending, but the way it ended up, I thought the ending was rushed. I will say that.
The ending was rushed.
She rushed the ending, and there was not enough time in my mind for that to be possible in the time period she was writing. It's like, that was a quick turnaround.
They redeemed him very fast. Yeah. And that was why the last time we met up, I asked Kay, did she think he could be redeemed?
I don't think he did.
And she said no. And I kind of smiled because I knew she was going to redeem him. I knew at the end she was.
Shouldn't have, though.
But it was rushed. It was very rushed the way they did it.
I mean, we might as well go ahead and say it. If you've read the book, you know at the end she gives him like $67,000 or something like $67 million.
Yeah, $35 million, I think is what she ended up giving him. Wasn't it?
She gave him
more than that.
She gave him like a third of all her winnings or something like that. Oh, that shouldn't have happened. That girl, she should have given him $10 million and said, run.
And she gave him the Porsche back too.
Yeah. He never had to give back anything. He never went to jail. He never was punished for any of his crimes. He had stolen from her. He had stolen from her boyfriend, the head of the gym, the guy that owned the gym. Can't think of his name right now. It's been a week. It's like I don't know. I wanted him to pay for at least some of his sins.
Yeah, he didn't pay
his
for
crimes.
Because even in the book, he says in his reflections that he needs to make amends for that. Yeah. So he says he's going to go and give the gun back.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He just tells her where it's at.
Yeah, it's not the same thing at all. Well, he was in the hospital at this point. He does get hurt. But when she did give him the check, she just gave it to him and she walks off and then he opens the check and he starts screaming and celebrating with the nurses and stuff. That told me right there that he was not redeemed. You know, because a redeemed person would have said, oh my gosh, you'd have just sat there in awe thinking, I can't believe I don't deserve this. Yeah. Because he didn't. He did not deserve that. Don't you think so?
I do.
I thought it was
and I didn't like that she redeemed him because I thought he was unredeemable. But now one of the parts that bothered me about the book that I had completely forgot about was the supernatural part. I'm not into that.
Yeah, we should have talked about it. Because once you're reading, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I had completely forgot about that part where his wife that had passed away lives in the tree, or she is part of the tree, or spirit. I don't know. But with the limbs dipping down and swinging them up and knocking them out and knocking him out of his shoes.
Yeah, out of his shoes, and his shoes were left by her car. So there were some things that were hard to swallow, but they started out fine those first 14 chapters or so, and maybe 10, the first 10 chapters, and then you're reading the stuff about the tree, and I'm like, what?
I didn't like the stuff about the tree. I had forgotten all about that, but I still like the story. I like how she grew into herself. I like how, even though I don't feel he was redeemed, I like how she was okay with saying, I am this new person. I don't need to do this. I can take my part. I felt like she should have, instead of giving him so much, I felt like even if she had to give him some, because he had already said if she won the race, he would go away.
That's true.
And she did win the race. Mm-hmm. So if she wanted to give him part of it, I would have been okay with that, because that just shows how much she's grown and how comfortable she is in her own skin. But I thought that she should have gave the majority of what she gave him to the older people that work for her.
Yeah, give some of that. I think they were way more deserving than he was.
Yeah.
I would have given him a token. I would have given him $10 million. I mean, good Lord, somebody gave me $10 million. I think I could do a lot with that for the next however many years I got left, right? You can invest it. There's so much you can do, but I would have helped other people. I would not have given him that much money. I would have given him something.
I like that Linda May got a rich boyfriend too. That was
yeah, that was
she
cool.
Deserved that.
Turned out he was a really good guy and rich, even though she was thinking that he was kind of like
Luna Mae's money.
Yeah, after Luna Mae's money or whatever. Yeah. And that was not the case at all. So that was nice.
I thought that was cute.
And they came back.
But now they do rush it because they drag it out so much at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think she kind of gets halfway through and she thinks, oh, this was going to be too long. And she just kind of packs it all in at one time.
Yeah, those last two chapters are like boom, 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 and they're done. I was he would have done all the stuff he was supposed to do without the money if he was redeemed. Yes.
Yes.
Showed how much she grew. Yeah.
Absolutely.
She grew. He didn't grow.
She did grow.
I wanted to throttle him.
And I'm happy she found someone that loved her and supported her and was her biggest cheerleader. And
he had money too, you know.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't need her money.
His family had money. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was a good book. I always identified with her. I always identified with kind of feeling like your self-value was wrapped up in how much you weighed and that kind of thing. Now, I'm not sure that she really ever got past that part because, see, she lost all the weight. Mm-hmm. So then she felt better about herself.
It's hard to tell because she didn't really, the author didn't address enough on that in the end. You didn't know if all of her self-esteem was great anymore. I kind of hope it was or think it was because now she has her man who's a good man and
she won the race.
She won the race. I mean, that's a big deal to win that race where you had to bike and run and
yeah, it's a trial.
Was it canoe or was it?
She was the canoe, and it was raining through the whole thing. The weather was horrible.
Or was it a kayak?
It kept saying canoe.
Okay, so it was a canoe.
I would have thought a kayak would have been better, but
I did too. But I was like, is a canoe? Are you sure? Maybe it was kayak.
Yeah, it kept saying a canoe.
Okay.
So. But I still love the book. I still do. I still love the whole thing about she won the lottery. You know, is that not just perfect karma? You know, he had been so ugly to her and she won the lottery. And the fact that
she was definitely the bigger person out of that.
The fact that she had enough money that she could have just put it away and not have to worry about it there until the very end and that kind of thing. That was cool. I've never been in that position. But.
Well, my favorite part of the book was that the elderly people came in. It was basically like, hey, you know, you need somebody to run this. We can do it. We just need somebody to drive us around. That was my favorite part.
I love that.
You know, no matter how old you get, it's like your mind is still in place. If you're fortunate, most people, their mind is still good. It's just their bodies are tired. But there's still so much that you can still do. That there's so much of value and worth, no matter how old we get.
I loved it. I did. I liked the book. It was really good for me to go back and read it in some ways. In other ways, it wasn't because I had built this book up so much in my mind of how much I loved it that going back and reading it was almost a letdown because I had forgotten parts that I'd probably just skimmed over before.
Yeah.
If you want to know the truth about it, I had just kind of skimmed over it.
Well, it's amazing after you know, life moves on and you've read 7,000 books since then. It's like, wait, what? Even when I went back and reread Hissy Fit recently, there was things that I did not remember about that book. I just remember that being my favorite book, and I still enjoyed it when I read it again. But it was like reading it for the first time in some ways. The Hissy Fit was about the only part I remembered, I think.
Well, I was the same way because I had not read it in so many years. And so when we picked it up to read it for the channel, because we were putting that episode, doing that episode on it, I did not remember so much of it. I was like, wow, I remember this, but I do not remember all this other stuff. And so it's funny because you're right. You read so many books, they all start kind of melting together eventually. But I love Fern Michaels as a writer. I thought that it was a good book. I did. For some reason, I had always thought that was one of her first books because the writing was a little elementary to me. But it wasn't.
No,
I guess it was just
maybe 20 years in.
I wonder if it was like one of her first forays into the supernatural, and that just didn't kind of work out for her.
Do y'all remember any books where she had the supernatural thing in there? I don't, but I don't remember any of her books by title. Now, I've read a ton of them because I'm a voracious reader. I read all kinds of stuff. If I don't have a book, you know, I'm going to be reading the back of the cereal box or something.
Same.
Had to go get a drink. I almost committed a sin.
What?
Worse than any he did. I almost let my sweet tea go bad. Oh, don't do that.
Trisha, that is a horrible sin. You never let your sweet tea go bad. No,
That's true. When we got here in Georgia, that was one of the first things. I had a glass of sweet tea, and I was like, "Oh, that's so much better than Texas." Because in Texas it's sweet, but it's not sweet like Alabama and Georgia is.
Well, Georgia's is so sweet it hurts my teeth. I have to get half and half. I get half sweet tea, half unsweet tea.
I don't get tea often. I'll just tell y'all, sweet tea at a restaurant or anything, because of the caffeine one. If I make it at home, I make it caffeine free. And something about that caffeine and the sugar, I'd become like a piper. It's all get out. You think I had an energy drink or maybe two. And my husband's like, "What is wrong with you?" I said, "Oh, that's what we did." And it's bad. Now we need to talk about our new book.
We do. And
we already picked it out. And we're using the app again. We're going to use, what's it called?
Kindle Unlimited.
Kindle Unlimited. My brain just went, whoop, and I couldn't remember. Kindle Unlimited. And it is by the same author as Hissy Fit. We're not reading Hissy Fit. Mary Kay Andrews, that's her name.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull mine up right now. The cover.
I've got her up.
I've got the book up, but I can't see the cover.
It'll go away. It'll go away though in a second. Yeah. It's called Summer at the Saint. So it's kind of a summer read. I'm trying to get back to the first chapter because I had gone to the end to see how many chapters there were. And anyway, it's Mary Kay Andrews.
Summer at the Saint.
Summer at the Saint.
Or wait, is it called that?
Summers at the Saint.
Summers at the Saint.
With an S. Summers at the Saint. That's kind of the little picture there it gives me on.
I'll be honest with you guys. I've read a few pages already, and I'm already hooked. I'm ready to get into it. But now it has a lot of chapters.
But if you buy it, it's not but about that thick. It's they're short chapters because they introduce people almost in every chapter. Now, I haven't read all of what we're going to read this week. How many do we say? 20 chapters. So I've only read like the first 8.
And don't freak out because I've read the first 7 and it took me about 30 minutes to read the 7. So it doesn't take long.
It was on the Kindle Unlimited thing. So, it didn't cost me anything extra than what I'm already paying because I read a lot.
Now you also found it somewhere else, didn't you?
Yeah, they have it at the library. My library had it here. That's one of the books they actually had of hers because I told you when I went to the library, they had, I don't know how many of her books, and the one they didn't have was Hissy Fit, but the lady bought it. And when I went the other day, I looked, it was on the shelf. But because I told her out of all the books, that's actually the best one. Summers at the Saint, I had not read it.
I got it a little bit bigger.
There you go, a little bigger. But Mary Kay Andrews, she's a Southern author, and she's great. Hopefully next year when she tours, if she does that again, we're going to make time to go see her as soon as she puts her schedule out. Yeah. Because we were on the cruise when she came through our area, and I was sick because I've wanted her to sign my book forever.
And we do like her. The last book we read, it was a little hard to get into, but I'm already into this one. I'm ready to kind of see what's going to happen.
She didn't write the last one we did. That was someone else. Talking about the first book we read on here?
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, that was not Mary Kay Andrews. That was another author.
Okay.
Yeah. The only one we've talked about, Hissy Fit, and then this one. Yeah, that other book, that was hard to get into because I have mine out in the hallway out there.
Yeah, that was the one you bought us at the
Yes.
The thing. Okay, I forgot about that.
I can't think of the name right now. My brain
they took me off one of my medications, and I've had the worst headache ever since. And so my brain is not, it's pounding, but that's not a good thing. So
no.
Y'all let us know what y'all thought about Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Let us know if you're going to read Summer at the Saint. We're excited about that one. I mean, it sounds like a good one. Hopefully it will be.
Yeah.
And we are writing down the suggestions that you guys gave us. I've been making a list of the authors, any books that you guys say. I've been writing those down because we do love to read, and we're looking forward to jumping into this one. We figure if we do, I think, 20 chapters per week, that will be done in 4 weeks. So that's not too bad.
Yeah, the chapters are not long. I've never seen Mary Kay Andrews do her chapters, I don't think anyway, exactly like this one. This was different.
Susan Mallory, the sister. Thank you, Linda. My brain went completely.
Mine did too. Mine's literally outside the door in the hallway there. Because I noticed it earlier and I forgot to bring it in here. But
I knew it was an author that I liked, and I normally love Susan Mallory. But yes, that was it. But I did end up loving the book. I mean, I thought that it was good at the end, it all came together. So I did end up liking that book. I love Susan Mallory. And I love Fern Michaels. I do. I love Fern Michaels. She's a good writer. I have not read everything she's written, but I've read a lot of them and I always liked her stuff. I'm so disappointed that I recommended that book, though, because I just had it so built up in my head. And then to go back and read it, it was a little let down. And it was only because of the supernatural. That was just silly to me. I don't believe any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I didn't like how fast she ended it. How it
was rushed.
Came together so rushed. That was
and that's probably why you thought that it was one of her earlier books, because it just didn't seem as
the
put
writing
together.
just wasn't as strong as she is in some of her other books. I've read a lot of her books, and that one is not as strong. But to me, again, and I know I've said this repeatedly, but the reason I loved it is because I could identify with the main character in it. I really could. I felt the same kind of things that she felt. So, all right. Well, I guess that's all for today. You guys have been a little bit quiet today, so hopefully y'all will join us next Wednesday right here at 2:00. We are going to be doing the first 20 chapters of Summers at the Saint. And so you guys grab that book. If you've got Kindle Unlimited, it is on there. You can download it and start reading. And we can't wait to get back with you guys and discuss it. And don't forget to drop us a comment. Let us know what y'all think about a retreat. Do you think it's worth moving forward with the Radisson at the beach? Do you think we should look at something else at the beach? I will tell you that most of the hotels at the beach do not have a place that you could craft. They don't have a conference center or a meeting room because they're on the beach and they use everything they can for rooms. I mean, they just do down there. That's what the whole thing is. There is one other place that has a conference center, but now it's older than that. It's been around since as far back as I can remember. And it's the boardwalk down there. And it is older. Again, it's clean. It's just older. So y'all let us know what y'all think about that kind of thing. Or if you'd rather us look at something in the mountains, and we'll just keep plugging away and try to find something where we can do a retreat. Thank you, Patricia. You have a good day. And don't forget, Thursday, we will have a video over on Fabulously Made Home. I think I got that shirt on right now, Fabulously Made Home. That's going to have a summer craft, a summer recipe. I actually have a couple of summer crafts and a summer recipe. And then on Friday, we'll be back here. We've got a good talk planned for you guys, something that is very special to Kay. It hits home with me as well. And we hope that you'll join us. Y'all have a great weekend. I don't know. Oh, I understand that. Patricia. I absolutely do. Tell me again where you're at. Maybe we could look at something out that way too. We're looking all over because we have had someone ask us to look at California. Someone asked us to look at Las Vegas. We're looking at all different kinds of places. So if there's somewhere that somewhere you would like us to look, let us know. We'll look at that. We are hoping to do a couple a year, and we can do them in different places. North Idaho. Okay, you would have to help me if there was anything around there. I don't know. I know one place that somebody had talked about was Branson, Missouri, but now I don't know how far that is from you either. So pretty good little drive. What about as far as it is for us? Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we're going to keep looking. So, and we do understand, especially now with this economy, it's really hard. And that's why we haven't just jumped onto anything and booked anything, is because we kind of wanted to hear from other people and just kind of get a gauge on the interest, So, absolutely. All right. Well, we have got to go. We got some more recording to do. We got something special coming up for you guys, and we got to do some recording for it this afternoon. So y'all have a great afternoon. Bye. Bye, y'all.